Smith seems to be fading, although some people now say they can see another face on the Gyproc. In any case, the curious continue to line up outside Ben Philgate's condominium.
Today, the crowds are getting bigger. They're lining up outside Ben Philgate's Ladysmith condo to see for themselves.
We were driving around talking about this miracle, you know, we saw on the TV. So we thought they better come and look.
The traffic jam in the driveway is starting to bug some of the neighbors.
I had to park over there, and someone had a car taking up both these parking spots.
So you're not thrilled by the vision?
Well, no. Well, I mean, yeah, the vision is great, but I mean, why do people take up our parking spot?
These guys again. What do you say today?
Ben Philgate has to fight his way through the lineup as he comes home for lunch. He doesn't seem to mind, though.
Still gonna let him in?
Can't help it.
Have you noticed it's fading?
Yeah, I noticed that last night.
Yeah.
After them people put their hands on it. We haven't even had drunk ones in here right across the carpet in their boots and everything.
But the whole thing is fading.
Yeah, it's just going right back. I figured it was.
People are having a tougher time seeing it today. The flashlight seems to help. In certain angles, our television light helps. But if we compare today's pictures of the vision with the first we saw it, there seems to be a difference. As the crowds continue to come, contributions are now being accepted to help pay for carpet cleaning and the heating bill. Wayne Williams, CBC News, Ladysmith.
That they feel a warmth radiating from the wall, but skeptics say what appears to be the images of Christ, a cross, and other faces on a condominium wall in Ladysmith are nothing more than a sloppy job of drywalling. But that hasn't stopped hundreds of people from lining up to see for themselves.
Jesus Christ, they are saying, has chosen a suburban street outside the town of Ladysmith to make his latest appearance. Many will be skeptical, but here at Ben Philgate's tiny townhome, there's no admission charge, no plaster of Paris crucifixes or bottles of holy water for sale, not yet. Ben Philgate says he is not religiously inclined, has nothing to gain from this thing, and anyway, he didn't discover it.
I would say roughly 2 months ago, a little girl snitched something off the cemetery, out of the cemetery, and this is when it started. I said, you better take that back or it's going to cause you bad trouble. She took it back, came up here and sat down watching cartoons, like there's 10, 11 of them in here all the time. And she says, I better go home, there's a man coming on your wall.
The apparition lives in the wall of Ben's living room, protected by a do not touch warning, as if this were something a thumbprint could tarnish. From out behind the condominium, you can see there are no levers or lights or magnets. But from the inside, at certain times of the day, from certain angles, without straining your eyes or your imagination, you can see this configuration of a classic Christ-like face. There appears to be a cross superimposed on the head. The local newspaper sketch artist has picked up what cameras have some trouble seeing and shown the Christ-like face to be accompanied by another face of biblical style. So maybe you're already saying that the whole thing is just a bunch of thumbprints.
Who did you tell? I washed it.
You washed it?
I figured somebody was pulling a real Sammy on me. So I took the Comet out of there and the dishcloth and I washed that whole wall.
With Comet?
Yep. And
I tried to scrub it off.
I tried to scrub it off. I figured they painted it on there. And I sat down and had supper, and there it started to come back again. So I figured it's going to stay there. It wants to be there, it stays there.
Seeing this apparition is only part of the story. The more serious part is the feeling.
What's happening?
Just a funny feeling in my face. A vibration or something. It just feels, have you ever been scared and you get a real weird feeling in your face? That way. But it doesn't bother me.
Points of the shadow of the lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Look in between the 2 points, you can see a cross.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at the
But this is something you have to make your own mind up about, as more and more Ladysmithians are doing.
Go for you.
Yeah, get down real low. In between the 2 spikes or the shadow. There's 2 spikes.
Don't ask the news media if it's real. They're too busy trying to get the right angle for a good picture of it. For now, Ben Filbert is letting all comers see for themselves.
Did you let anyone in here? Sure, anybody who comes, kids and all. 35 of them last night.
So maybe that's why the apparition picked your place.
Yeah, that's just a guess. What do you do?
May the force be with you.
Slight feeling of static.
There's been a traffic jam outside Ben Filgate's Ladysmith condominium ever since a shadowy figure believed to be that of Jesus Christ appeared on his living room wall. All day again today, the faithful and the skeptical came to take a look. There are actually two images. One appears to be Christ beneath a cross. Nearby, there is a second face, perhaps that of St. Peter or St. Paul. Some say they're getting the cure after seeing the image. Others say there's a warmth radiating from the wall.
As you look at it longer, though, you can see it better. You focus into it. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. I saw it on TV last night, and it said people are welcome to come and do it themselves, so I'm here. It's different.
There's no explanation for it. Some say it's a flaw in the paint or the drywall, but an experienced tradesman says he's a believer.
Well, I've been doing it for 17 years, and I've never seen anything like that before. I know what a bad drywall job is, you know, and that one up there wasn't really that bad. I just can't understand it at all.
However, religious leaders are not quite so sure. Victoria Bishop Remy DeRue says people assume the images have biblical reference. He says the wall should be studied by scientists. He says it's not a matter for the church. Others aren't quite so sure.
Do you know how to explain it?
Not really, but you can't really explain these things. They're unexplainable. You know, there's more things in heaven and earth than you can explain it. I mean, there's more than see, smell, hear, and there's other senses, and there's other things too beyond that we don't know much about yet, but we will one day, and I think it's one of these things.
To beat a path to Ben Filgate's door in Ladysmith. They've come to see the images of two men, a hand and a cross on the living room wall. Is it a divine image or is it a hoax? Well, no one's sure.
How many last night? 60 people last.
Ever since news got out, Ben Filgate's home hasn't been the same. They're coming in droves today to see the image on the wall.
That's really doing something, isn't it?
Ben tries to live his life as usual. It's not easy, but he says he doesn't mind. Everyone's welcome. There's no admission charge. Just don't track any mud in.
You get a what?
A good feeling, you know, so yes, it's right. Not a phony, you know. I don't feel...
the feet are clean.
Yeah.
The image they've all come to see just appeared one day a couple of months ago. Whatever is causing it, it can't be washed off. Ben's tried with comment. And the man who did the original paint job in the condo says it's not caused by poor Gyproc installation and the paint.
I was just telling this fellow here, when the time comes, if he ever decides to paint the room out again, I'd like to go up there at my cost and paint it out and just see whether those figures come back through another new coat of paint.
Would you No, thanks, no.
Why not? You don't want it painted
No,
over?
I think too many people would be mad at me if I painted over it. So I better leave it the way it is.
This is apparently taking on a new form, that of a woman. We'll keep you posted.
And the executive of Vancouver, of Ladysmith, is back. For a while, it seemed like the Christ-like image on Ben Filgate's wall was fading. But Ben figured out what was wrong, and he's glad it's back.
Ben Filgate was up early today. The snow overnight slowed the crowds down, but Ben wanted to be ready just in case.
I kind of feel bad for them if they're out here cold feet. I know I wouldn't want to do it.
You like people.
8 of my own.
8 of your own kids.
And 5 foster.
You like people.
Oh, yeah. I don't see nothing wrong.
To say Ben Filgate likes people is an understatement. Ben Philgate reckons 1,100 people have tromped into his Ladysmith condo to see the vision on the wall. Most of the visitors have come during the last couple of days.
A little bit down, down, over to the left a bit. There's the cross right there.
Sarah,
And there's the face.
come back this way.
There, you see it now?
There it is. Yes, now I can see it.
And there's the girl's face down there looking at it, sideways. Dark hair tucked in behind her ear.
Monday to Friday, Ben is the maintenance man on the local water supply system. Has been for 5 years. Before that, he was a logger.
You sat in that chair?
Felled trees for 35 of his 59 years. And on his day off, he's enjoyed showing the image that's appeared on his wall a couple of months ago. Yesterday, it began to fade. Ben fixed it. What's happening?
Turned out too many people in here with wet hands and wet clothes, and I imagine their breath too.
So what'd you do?
I put Linda's hair dryer on it and dried it out, and then it started coming back.
It seemed to like the heat from our television light, too. That's given rise to another theory. What do you think it is?
I don't know what it is, but it has the same effect as liquid crystal, which, when it's heated, changes color and changes texture. And it makes you wonder whether there's liquid crystal mixed in with the paint or as a base for the paint. I'm just thinking of rational reasons to explain it as well as other reasons, so it's hard to fathom.
You're welcome.
But I can definitely see it.
People are glad it's not fading, whatever the reason. You think it's religious, maybe?
Could be, yeah.
You feel anything from it at all?
I feel something inside, but I don't know.
What do you think of the man that let you in here, Ben?
Oh, nice. It's a very nice man. I think he's very tired now, eh? Oh, yeah. It's a very nice man.
I don't know if I can do it to myself, to tell you the truth, to let all that people came in the house.
Why do you think your house?
I don't know. Maybe, like I told you before, my door's opening. And many people have made the comment, if it was in their house, no way. All these people will get in.
For example?